When Bruce Willis was revealed to be battling frontotemporal dementia in 2022, the tragic diagnosis made headlines worldwide. But according to recent reports, the most heartbreaking impacts of Willis's illness have occurred privately. Sources claim Willis now struggles to the extent he no longer recognizes his ex-wife Demi Moore. As one of the most famous amicable divorced couples in Hollywood history, Willis and Moore built an unbreakable bond over decades of marriage, co-parenting, and friendship. So for Moore, Willis's inability to identify her due to his advancing dementia is no doubt devastating. Join Factsverse as we explore Moore's reported heartbreak over Willis's loss of recognition. Bruce and Demi's relationship. Bruce Willis and Demi Moore first met in 1987 at a screening of the film Stakeout, which starred Moore's then-fiancé, Emilio Estevez. At the time, Moore later shared that she was immediately drawn to Willis's warmth and willingness to embrace and love her. Within just 4 months of meeting, Willis and Moore embarked on a whirlwind romance. In November 1987, the couple surprised fans by marrying in a spur-of-the-moment ceremony in Las Vegas. They exchanged impromptu vows at the famous Little Church of the West Chapel. 1 month later, they held a more traditional wedding ceremony in front of friends and family, officiated by Little Richard. Moore later reported that she and Willis were thrilled to become parents with the arrival of their first daughter, Rumer, in August 1988. They purposefully alternated film projects in the early years of Rumer's life so one parent could be home with her. Moore said Willis was extremely hands-on as a father and spoke openly about his passion for parenting. The couple welcomed 2 more daughters, Scout in 1991 and Tallulah in 1994. Professionally, Willis and Moore acted alongside each other for the first time in the 1991 thriller Mortal Thoughts. Moore voiced that it was ideal to finally work together and allowed Willis to showcase more versatility as a performer. Throughout a decade of marriage, Willis and Moore were seen as a Hollywood power couple and loving parents. But they shocked the industry when they announced their split in 1998. Despite divorcing in 2000, they emphasized maintaining a friendship and close bond due to their daughters. They were frequently spotted together post-divorce, including traveling as a family. When Moore remarried Ashton Kutcher in 2005, Willis showed his support by attending the wedding. It demonstrated the amicable nature of his relationship with Moore as ex-spouses. Similarly, Moore and Kutcher were guests at Willis's wedding to model Emma Hemming in 2009. Their families merged in a relaxed, supportive way over the years. Bruce's dementia diagnosis. In March 2022, Bruce Willis's family shocked the world by announcing the actor had been diagnosed with aphasia and would be retiring from acting. The statement shared publicly on social media platforms was signed by Willis's wife Emma, his ex-wife Demi Moore, and his 5 daughters from both marriages. The announcement explained the aphasia was a condition affecting Willis's cognitive abilities, especially impacting his speech. It occurs when areas of the brain responsible for language are damaged, often due to stroke or head injury. Symptoms include difficulty communicating verbally, inability to find the right words, and problems understanding speech. Given the language difficulties aphasia poses, Willis made the difficult decision to step back from acting at age 67. He had enjoyed a wildly successful 4-decade career since skyrocketing to fame in the Die Hard films and other big-budget action movies. But his family reported Willis showed typical grace and selflessness in prioritizing his health. In the months following the aphasia diagnosis, those close to Willis indicated his condition continued declining. Then, in February 2023, his family shared the tragic news that doctors concluded Willis is suffering from frontotemporal dementia. As it advances, symptoms worsen to include dramatic personality changes, more language deficits, impaired cognition and judgment, repetitive compulsive behaviors, difficulty walking, and more. Patients require increasing levels of care and supervision. There's currently no cure, only management of symptoms. Willis's wife Emma stated that receiving the updated diagnosis helped the family better understand why his health was rapidly deteriorating. Bruce Willis's condition and not recognizing Demi. By late 2022, sources close to Bruce indicated that his frontotemporal dementia has alarmingly progressed. The once lively actor reportedly became increasingly incommunicative and secluded. The most heartbreaking update came when insiders claimed Willis no longer showed signs of recognizing his ex-wife, Demi Moore. The revelation emerged after Moore returned from a trip to Italy over the summer and visited Willis at his LA home. Having remained very close, Moore was undoubtedly eager to see her ex-husband after time away. But sources say it quickly became clear Willis did not acknowledge or identify Moore during her visit. In fact, insiders described Moore as devastated when it dawned on her that Willis's memory of their relationship and lengthy shared history appeared completely erased. Despite putting up a brave face, these sources say Moore felt blindsided and emotional to think her familiar presence no longer sparked recollection in Willis. Though Willis currently struggles even to communicate verbally, he can reportedly still identify his wife Emma and their 2 young daughters at times. The difference in his reactions to Moore versus Emma underscores how selective his memory has become. Other insiders paint a grim portrait of how dramatically frontotemporal dementia has robbed Willis of his vibrant personality and talents. He now rarely leaves home, unable to focus on reading and passive in interactions. Demi Moore's reaction and ongoing support. Sources describe Moore as leaning heavily on inner strength to process this painful new challenge posed by Willis's illness. After years proudly maintaining a loving friendship, it's surely devastating for Moore to suddenly feel like a stranger to him. Nonetheless, she's handling the emotional turmoil with grace. She continues publicly celebrating Willis's milestones like birthdays, wishing him well on social media for all to see. Her steady support aligns with statements from Willis's wife Emma, applauding Moore's teamwork through this difficult circumstance. When Willis's aphasia was first announced in spring of 2022, Moore united with Emma and their collective daughters to sign the statement addressing it. She also reportedly joined Willis's family in spending time together during the initial quarantine period early in the pandemic. Moore makes it clear that preserving Willis's dignity and spirits comes first. She prioritizes keeping his inner light shining by any means necessary, whether through uplifting family time or letting the world know she remains in his corner. Those close to Moore also say she sees discussing Willis's dementia journey as an opportunity to educate others. She's been open regarding his diagnosis and its repercussions to foster empathy for what patients and families working through such diseases experience. Now it's time to hear from you. What's your favorite memory of Bruce Willis? Let us know in the comments section below.